The strongest pain is regret. Not the pain of failure. Not the pain of rejection. Not even the pain of losing money. Because those wounds can heal. But regret is different. Regret is waking up one day and realizing you had the time, the opportunity, and the ability to build the life you wanted, but you didn't. Years pass faster than most people imagine. And many young men don't realize what truly matters until life forces them to learn the lesson the hard way. Today, we're exploring 5 life lessons that countless men wish they had learned earlier. These lessons are about discipline, about time, about purpose, and about becoming the kind of man your future self will thank you for becoming. Let's begin. A young man once spent years chasing quick money. Every day he searched for shortcuts, easy profits, fast success. He believed that if he could just become rich quickly, everything else would fall into place. Meanwhile, he ignored his health, ignored his family, ignored opportunities to learn valuable skills. Years later, he finally earned some money. But by then, he had lost something far more valuable: time. The truth is simple. Money can be lost and earned again. Time cannot. Every hour that passes is gone forever. Many young men live as if they have unlimited tomorrows. But none of us know how many tomorrows we actually have. One of the greatest mistakes people make is assuming they can always start later. Later I'll exercise. Later I'll learn. Later I'll build my dream. Later I'll spend time with people I love. Then one day, later becomes never. Here's something fascinating. Researchers have found that people consistently underestimate how quickly years pass. Psychologists call this the speeding up of time effect. The older people get, the faster life seems to move. That's why many older people say the same thing. It feels like yesterday. Think about that. People in their 70s often say their 20s feel like yesterday. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing 10 years disappeared. What would you regret? What would you wish you had done differently? The wise understand that every day is an investment. Every hour spent learning, every workout completed, every meaningful conversation, every difficult task finished. These small actions become the foundation of a remarkable life. Protect your time, because one day you'll discover it was your most valuable possession. Many young men are waiting to feel motivated. They believe successful people wake up inspired every morning, ready to conquer the world, ready to chase their goals. But that's not how life works. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you don't feel like doing anything at all. The men who succeed are not necessarily the most talented. They are often the most disciplined. Imagine 2 young men. The first only works when he feels inspired. The second works whether he feels inspired or not. Who do you think achieves more after 10 years? The answer is obvious. Discipline creates consistency. Consistency creates progress. Progress creates results. A famous study on habit formation showed that small daily actions often matter more than occasional bursts of effort. In other words, doing something consistently is far more powerful than doing something perfectly. This applies to everything: fitness, business, relationships, learning, personal growth. The strongest men are not those who never struggle. They are the ones who keep moving forward despite struggle. When you don't feel like studying, study anyway. When you don't feel like training, train anyway. When you don't feel like working on your dream, work on it anyway. Because discipline is keeping promises to yourself. And every promise you keep strengthens your character. The uncomfortable truth is this: Your future is being built by what you do repeatedly. Not occasionally. Repeatedly. And that's why discipline will always outperform motivation. There is an old saying, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." Many people underestimate how true this is. A young man may have big dreams. He may want success, growth, purpose. But if he spends every day surrounded by people who mock ambition, eventually his standards begin to fall. Human beings are deeply influenced by their environment, whether we realize it or not. Think about it. Spend enough time with negative people, and negativity starts feeling normal. Spend enough time with lazy people, and laziness starts feeling acceptable. Spend enough time with disciplined people, and discipline begins to rub off on you. Your circle quietly shapes your habits, your beliefs, your expectations, your future. One interesting fact is that studies have found people often adopt behaviors similar to those around them, including habits related to health, finances, and productivity. We become reflections of our environment more than we realize. This doesn't mean abandoning people during difficult times. It means being intentional about who influences your thinking. Ask yourself, who challenges me to grow? Who encourages me to become better? Who inspires me to take responsibility for my life? And who pulls me away from the person I want to become? The answers to those questions may reveal why you're progressing, or why you're stuck. Your future is often hiding inside your daily environment. Choose wisely. Before we continue, if you're enjoying these wisdom stories and life lessons, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us create more content that inspires growth, discipline, and purpose. There is a silent trap that destroys more dreams than failure ever will. Comfort. Not because comfort is bad, but because too much comfort convinces you that staying where you are is acceptable. A young man once dreamed of becoming successful. He talked about his plans constantly. He had goals, ideas, ambition. But every evening, he chose comfort over progress. Instead of learning, he scrolled. Instead of building, he procrastinated. Instead of improving, he entertained himself. Days became months. Months became years. And eventually, he realized something painful. His dreams had not disappeared. He had simply traded them for comfort. The problem with comfort is that it rarely feels dangerous. Failure feels dangerous. Risk feels dangerous. Challenges feel dangerous. Comfort feels safe. That's why it's so powerful. Most people don't wake up one day and decide to waste their potential. They slowly drift into routines that require nothing from them. And before they know it, they are living far below their capabilities. Think about the strongest tree you've ever seen. It became strong because it endured storms. Wind forced its roots deeper. Challenges made it stronger. Human beings are no different. Growth requires resistance. Muscles grow through resistance. Skills grow through practice. Confidence grows through challenges. Character grows through adversity. Everything valuable in life demands discomfort first. Many young men avoid difficult conversations. Avoid responsibility. Avoid risk. Avoid failure. But in doing so, they also avoid growth. The men who build meaningful lives understand something important. Discomfort is often a sign that you're moving forward. The first workout feels uncomfortable. The first business attempt feels uncomfortable. The first public speech feels uncomfortable. The first step toward a dream often feels uncomfortable. That's normal. Growth rarely feels comfortable in the beginning. But staying the same becomes painful in the end. Ask yourself, What discomfort am I avoiding right now? Because the answer may be standing between you and the life you want. The future belongs to those willing to endure temporary discomfort for long-term rewards. And that brings us to perhaps the most important lesson of all. Many people spend their entire lives chasing pleasure. More entertainment, more distractions, more comfort, more temporary satisfaction. Yet despite having more access to pleasure than any generation before them, many people still feel empty. Why? Because pleasure and purpose are not the same thing. Pleasure feels good for a moment. Purpose gives meaning for a lifetime. Imagine two young men. The first spends every day seeking whatever feels good in the moment. The second spends his days building something meaningful, learning, creating, serving others, improving himself. At first, the first man's life appears easier, more relaxing, more enjoyable, but over time, something changes. The second man begins to experience fulfillment. Because human beings are designed for more than comfort. We want meaning. We want contribution. We want significance. One of the most famous psychological observations comes from psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl. After enduring unimaginable hardship, he concluded that people can survive almost any challenge if they have a reason to keep going. In other words, purpose creates resilience. Purpose creates direction. Purpose creates strength. Without purpose, even success can feel empty. This is why some wealthy people remain unhappy, and why some ordinary people live deeply fulfilling lives. Purpose is not necessarily something grand. You don't need to become famous. You don't need millions of followers. You don't need the world's approval. Purpose can be as simple as becoming the best version of yourself. Helping your family, serving your community, building something meaningful, living according to your values. Every morning, ask yourself, what am I building? Because a life built only on pleasure eventually feels hollow. But a life built on purpose becomes meaningful. And meaning is what most people are truly searching for. An elderly man once sat beneath a tree watching children play. A young traveler approached him and asked, "What is the biggest lesson life has taught you?" The old man was silent for a moment. Then he said, "When I was young, I thought I had endless time." The traveler listened carefully. The old man continued, "I postponed important things. I delayed difficult decisions. I waited for the perfect moment. I assumed there would always be another opportunity." He looked toward the horizon. The years passed faster than I expected. The traveler asked, "What do you regret most?" The old man smiled sadly. "Not the mistakes I made. Not the failures. Not the risks. I regret the opportunities I ignored because I thought I had more time." The traveler sat quietly. Then the old man offered one final piece of wisdom. Most people spend their youth thinking they have time, and spend their old age wishing they had used it better. The traveler never forgot those words. Neither should we, because every day we are writing the story our future selves will one day read. The question is, will it be a story of purpose, or a story of regret? The strongest pain is regret. But regret doesn't have to be your future. You can choose discipline today. You can protect your time today. You can choose better influences today. You can embrace growth today. You can pursue purpose today. Small decisions made consistently create extraordinary lives. If this video helped you reflect on your own journey, leave a comment below. Which of these 5 life lessons impacted you the most? And if you enjoy wisdom stories, personal growth, and powerful life lessons, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Remember, your future is being created by what you do today. Choose wisely. Thanks for watching.